Hello there, my hot diggity ding dongs. My name is Rowan Skye, and in today's video of Legendary Musical Awesomeness, we'll be talking about some weird singing tips and singing hacks that actually work to help improve your voice or your ability to sing. Before we get into it, I'm going to take off on my yearly music retreat, so I'll see you over on the other side. Pretty day, but let's head back inside. Okay, now we're back inside, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the singing thingy-ma-ding-dong. So one of the first thoughts on your mind might be, what the heck is this hamburger-faced, dishcloth-looking dairy cow trying to do telling me how to sing? Well, I am a professional vocalist. I have been for a while, which is actually kind of cool because I actually get paid to sing for people, which is pretty sweet. But I've been singing for pretty much my whole life, and I think my music really speaks for itself. I don't think I'm the best singer in the world. I don't think that I'm next American Idol or The Voice or anything like that, but I've definitely come up with some tips over my life of singing and my career so far, which has been pretty successful for a small little artist. I've had some videos blow up and do kind of crazy things, like One Guy 100 Voices was still just wow. Let's talk about those weird tips that can actually help you sing. First and foremost, honey. And honestly, if you've researched a little bit about singing, you've probably heard that one before. Honey. It actually works, right? As strange as that might seem, honey is actually a very common trick a lot of singers use to improve their voice. Why does it work? Well, first of all, honey is a very smooth substance, but it's not smooth like chocolate. Chocolate will actually phlegm you up. Peanut butter will phlegm you up. But the thing about honey is that it has microbial properties to it, as well as the fact that I think it's pretty yummy, right, honey? See what I did there? Ooh. It has a smoothing property that basically when you ingest it, it coats your throat, making your throat smoother, making your vocal cords resonate better, and it just is a really cool little tip to try to make your voice a little bit smoother if you're about to go sing at a choir concert or sing a solo song or something like that. Try eating a little bit of honey. It might do you some good. So this next one is something that has worked for me in the past, and you might be thinking, what the heck are you thinking, you crazy mother trucker? But guess what? It works for me, so I'm passing the tip along to you. Hot sauce. Now, I know what you're thinking. A guy like me, I'm already so hot that hot sauce isn't gonna do any good. Hot sauce is actually a really fantastic method that you can use to clear out your sinuses. Now, is it gonna improve your voice? It might, but here's the thing. When I sing sometimes and I want to actually clear my throat, I actually eat stuff that is intentionally spicy, because when you eat spicy food, all of your glands, all of your sinus cavities up here, and throughout your face, because there's a whole system of ductwork in your head. It's like a crazy complex HVAC system in a house, except it's just in your head. It clears it. It gets the gunk out. You'll be sweating, you'll be crying, and when I say hot sauce, I mean everybody's got a different level of tolerance. I tend to be a little crazy. I'm making a video on that right now about singing while eating hot sauce, so you can check that out if that sounds interesting to you. But once you eat something that's hot enough, like ghost pepper, Carolina Reaper, anything like that, and you're just sweating and crying, it sucks in the moment, but your sinuses clear out, your voice becomes a tad bit clearer, and there's some more clarity added to your voice as well. Our third tip for singing is talking about warming up in a specific technique I call monkey noises. Yes, you're probably already clicking the dislike button on this video, but guess what? If you turn your screen upside down and click that dislike button, you're giving it a like, so you can do that instead. People forget a lot of times that your vocal cords are just like any other muscle in the body. You have to exercise it in order to have it be good and usable and in ready working condition all the time. Like when I go to the boxing gym, I don't just start slamming on stuff. I have to warm up a little bit. You got to get your muscles activated. So it's the same thing with the voice. You got to warm it up. And of course, there's all kinds of exercises you'll hear choir people doing. Right, all these weird noises and stuff, which works, absolutely. But for me personally, one of my favorite techniques is you probably think I'm crazy. I think I'm freaking crazy. But seriously though, if you spend little puffs of air, I've actually researched this, little puffs of air through making monkey noises, there's a certain kind of glottal thing that happens in your throat, where your throat is forced to move up and down, almost like it's doing individual little reps. It flexes those muscles like no other exercise I've ever done in my life. So give it a shot. It might work for you. If not, you might think I'm just crazy, but either way, that's completely fine. It actually does help to make my voice a little bit more prepared to sing. Another weird tip. Anyways, the next technique is called follow your hand. So basically, music at the end of the day, It's about this, right? We need to use our ears more than anything else. But basically, you can actually use your hand to help visualize sound because we hear it in a certain way, but if you actually can visualize notes, it's a really, really good technique to use. If you don't believe me that this is effective, you can actually reference a really great singer, Christina Aguilera, who does the exact same thing. When you're singing, you actually start using your hand like some sort of kind of bridging, terracing sort of thing where you actually imagine the notes and you kind of follow along with them. Ooh, oh, oh, yeah. And it can actually be really helpful because if you're trying to go at that all blind, you don't quite know where the notes are going, but actually watching it with your hand can be really helpful. Even though I'd personally argue that music is normally just an auditory thing, actually following your hand can be super helpful sometimes, and I forget to do it, and when I do, it oftentimes ends up resulting in a way better singing take for me. Next tip is really obvious, but for some reason I feel like a lot of people don't actually do it because I've seen some really bad singing posted before. But the tip is actually just doing something as simple as taking out your phone, taking a video of you singing whatever you want to sing, and then listening to it back. That's the important part. Listen to it back. Did you hear that? Listen to it back. You are going to find very quickly that you are not sounding as good as you think you do, and that's coming from somebody who sings a lot on camera, and I look back at my takes and I go, holy shit, that was bad. It's very revealing when you actually go back and listen to your takes. So if you go back through those takes that you did, you can listen for the imperfections where problems occurred within your takes, and you can go back and try to fix those when you record again or whatever. But simply put, recording vocals and performing vocals are two very different art forms, so when you begin to actually kind of commingle the two of them together and actually try recording it and listening back, you're gonna find some pretty interesting things in the vocals you do. Definitely a good tip. The next tip is really stupid and really obvious, but like I said earlier, the voice is a muscle, so the next tip definitely has to be sing more. Just keep singing as much as you can. Practice a lot, use all the tips before, and maybe that will help you to improve as well. Just a quick one I figured I'd throw in there if that wasn't already obvious to begin with. Another tip I have that is kind of similar to the sinus clearing technique of the hot sauce, which is something I would not recommend sticking hot sauce up your nose by any stretch. In fact, please don't, because you could probably be hospitalized for that. But in terms of clearing your sinuses, you can use those little tiny inhalers that have eucalyptus and menthol oil in them and take them up your nose, breathe deeply, and let them go through not only your entire nasal cavity, but down your throat, into your lungs, and really sit there and then breathe it out. That helps to open up your lungs. Smelling menthol and eucalyptus also opens up your sinus cavities. Overall, it just helps you a lot more to prepare you to sing. It's going to help you feel a little bit smooth if you do that, and then add some honey in there. After you do that, that's a fantastic combination as well. Just another thing that can help you to sing better. And then the last tip I have as well has to do again with inhaling, and it's inhaling thyme. If you've ever done a thyme steam before, thyme is actually a very specific medicinal plant as well as a spice that we use a lot, but it's also a medicinal plant that has a lot of properties that are super helpful for your lungs. So be careful when you do this, because if you use hot water, just don't burn yourself. But if you actually take hot water, put it in a bowl, put a little bit of thyme on the top of it, you can put dried thyme is fine. It seems like I don't have time to talk about this. Then you put like a towel over your head and just let it steep for a little bit and breathe in and out and in and out. It can have a very large effect and impact on your lung capacity, and that can also help you to improve your singing as well. So these are just a couple quick tips I have for you for how to sing better and to help you improve your own singing. Frankly, there's thousands of tips out there and tons of videos talking about different things you can do to improve your voice. And like I said, frankly, if you came here looking for the magic solution to how to make your voice better, none of these things are gonna help. If you can't sing, I hate to say it, I love you, I'm very supportive, but if you can't sing, you can't sing. You can't polish a poo. Like, it just doesn't work. But to put it in another perspective, just like any athlete who became pro, they started off with the potential but had to start somewhere. And so it just takes a matter of exercise and practice, and you can get to where you want to get. But along the way, of course, there's a couple little things that can help you, and here are the tips today that I share with you that can hopefully help you a little bit with that. So I do hope it was helpful. If you do like the video, I do appreciate, just hitting the subscribe button, the like button, all that jazz you've heard a million times from a million other YouTubers, so I'm not gonna go over all that. Socials are below. You can hire me on Fiverr below to do singing for you if you so choose. And have a hot diggity ding dong day, my friends. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.